While everyone's talking about the latest antics coming out of the White House, the Fortune 500, major financial firms, the Trump administration, and all this with the approval of Congress, are robbing the country and you blind in plain sight. The economic stimulus packages, so-called economic stimulus packages, were designed from the beginning as a form of corporate welfare, bailouts. Those one-time $1,200 checks to individuals now appear, months later, as a mask for an enormous transfer of wealth to the richest Americans individually and corporations, laying bare exactly what sort of economy we have here in the United States. Certainly there's nothing of the free market about this. I've been researching the details of this giveaway for the last week, and if I were to go through all the details, this video would be about a week long, if not longer. For the sake of time, I just want to give you some of the lowlights of this incredibly corrupt process. While 2.5 million business owners were denied loans through the Paycheck Protection Program, many, including many large firms, made out like bandits, including some 2,000 that manage money or advise on investments, such as hedge funds or wealth advisors. Reuters, for instance, revealed that a good number of family offices for the super wealthy got millions of dollars in these loans. Now, what's a family office, you might be wondering? Well, they're investment companies whose whole purpose is to manage the money for one super rich family and maybe some of their friends. So for example, the Zero Family Office, which manages $473 million on behalf of the family of Oklahoma oil mogul Henry Zero, received PPP funds to the tune of as many as $350,000. And their whole attitude about these hardships around the coronavirus is basically this: I may have hundreds of millions of dollars, but why would I spend my own money to pay my employees when I could spend your money? It isn't just the PPP either. The Federal Reserve is funneling tons of cash directly into the financial system, trillions of dollars, and directly onto the balance sheets of some of the biggest, most profitable companies in the country. The whole thing, quite frankly, is somewhat unbelievable. Let's just touch on one element of this, and that's the buying of corporate bonds. Now, a bond is basically a loan where the buyer invests in a company and they get paid back with interest by the company down the line. Now, the Federal Reserve has for the first time in its history started directly buying corporate bonds. And they've been pretty straightforward about what they're doing this for, and it's to support the economy. But when they say economy, what they really mean is the Wall Street-dominated, monopoly-ridden, unequal, and racist capitalist system, not your bank account. Now, through this program so far, AT&T, for instance, has received just north of $26 million from the Federal Reserve. They had $13.9 billion in profits in 2019. Altria, the cigarette company, got $6.2 million, and they had $25 billion in 2019 profit. Boeing actually got a specially tailored bailout of billions of dollars, but got an additional $7.6 million from this government program. And Energy Transfer Partners, the company behind the Dakota Access Pipeline, yes, that's right, got $14.4 million in this corporate bond buying program. Now, you might be saying, well, it's not that much money, these are billions of dollars, but you have to put this into context. 32% of companies actually have more debt than they can actually pay, so-called zombie companies that are kept alive through robbing Peter to pay Paul and vice versa until the house of cards comes down on their interest rates. If you're an investment firm, right now, you're looking at this, there's a lot of investments you could make. What message does it really send when the Federal Reserve invests in any of these companies to you, the investor? They're either saying that A, it's a strong company that they think is going to bounce back, in other words, it's a good investment, quote unquote, or B, they're indicating that these companies or industries are favored in some way as crucially important, like say oil, and are likely to be bailed out if the economy goes down even further. It's a not so subtle indication of the too big to fail concept, and it accelerates the tendency of more successful companies to use crises to their advantage. They buy up smaller companies or cheaper companies at a bargain price and gain more control over that industry and that market moving forward. So at the end of the day, this is the Fed's idea of helping the economy, keeping the entire rotten system afloat, no matter how many trillions of dollars it costs, no matter the fact that tens of millions of people remain unemployed, no matter the fact that there is an eviction crisis spreading like wildfire and a utility shutoff crisis coming right behind that. Nope, all your tax dollars and all this money being printed and issued out is not going to those who really need it. It's going to multi-billion-dollar companies to make sure that they never collapse. And that's what modern capitalism really is. Not what they teach you in your textbooks about the free market. It's a system where the richest companies on the planet keep moving along thanks to their political connections and government bailouts whenever they seem to need them.